The Cossack era, 15th to 18th century, was a time of fierce warriors who emerged in Ukraine amidst conflicts between the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Ottoman Empire, and Russia. These independent fighters, known as Cossacks, established the Zaporizhian Sich, a democratic stronghold where they elected their own leader, the hetman. They were skilled warriors and defenders of Orthodox Christianity. Under Bohdan Khmelnytsky, they led a great uprising against Polish rule in 1648 but later allied with Russia in 1654, leading to the gradual loss of their independence. By 1775, Catherine the Great dismantled the Sich, marking the decline of Cossack power. However, their legacy of freedom and resistance remains a vital part of Ukrainian identity today. Let's travel to the history. Our story begins in the 15th century, a time when Ukraine was caught between powerful empires. To the west, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth ruled over much of Ukrainian land. To the south, the mighty Ottoman Empire and its Crimean Tatar allies raided the steppes, capturing thousands of Ukrainians to be sold as slaves in Istanbul. The people of Ukraine were caught in a world of constant war, oppression, and rebellion. But in this chaos, something extraordinary happened. A new group of warriors emerged, men who refused to submit to any ruler, who lived by their own laws, and who made their home in the wild, untamed lands of the Zaporizhian Sich. These men were the Cossacks. The word Cossack comes from the Turkish word Cossack, meaning free man or adventurer. And that is exactly what they were: runaway serfs, outlaws, adventurers, and warriors who had fled the oppression of the Polish nobles and Russian Tsars. They settled in the vast lands of the Dnieper River basin, creating an independent, democratic warrior society. At the heart of Cossack life was the Zaporizhian Sich, a fortified camp on the lower Dnipro River. It was more than just a military base, it was the first democratic institution in Ukrainian history. Here, the Cossacks elected their own leader, the hetman, and made decisions through a general assembly called the Rada. Every man had a voice, and the only qualification for leadership was bravery and skill in battle. The Cossacks trained relentlessly, mastering the art of horseback combat, guerrilla warfare, and naval raids. They became famous for their ability to fight against overwhelming odds, using speed, strategy, and sheer ferocity to defeat their enemies, and their enemies were many. The Cossacks fought against the Tatars, Ottomans, Polish nobles, and later, the Russian Tsars. But they weren't just warriors, they were also defenders of the Orthodox faith, seeing themselves as the protectors of Ukrainian Christianity against Catholic and Muslim forces. Among the many Cossack leaders, one name stands above the rest: Bohdan Khmelnytsky. In the mid-17th century, Ukraine was under Polish rule. And the Polish nobility treated Ukrainian peasants and Cossacks as second-class citizens, forcing them to work as serfs and attempting to convert them to Catholicism. The Cossacks had had enough. In 1648, Khmelnytsky led a massive Cossack uprising against Polish rule, rallying tens of thousands of Ukrainians, peasants, and Tatar allies to his cause. It was one of the greatest wars of independence in Ukrainian history. The war was brutal, filled with legendary battles such as Zavtivady, Korsun, and Pilyavtsi, where Cossack forces crushed Polish armies. For a moment, it seemed as though Ukraine would finally achieve its freedom. In 1654, realizing that he needed a powerful ally to secure Ukraine's independence, Khmelnytsky made a fateful decision. He signed the Treaty of Pereyaslav with Moscow, placing Ukraine under the protection of Tsar Alexei of Russia. What seemed like a strategic alliance at first would, in time, lead to the loss of Ukraine's independence. At first, the alliance with Russia helped the Cossacks fight off Poland, but soon, the Russians began imposing their own rule. Ukraine was now caught in a power struggle between Poland and Russia, leading to a tragic period known as the Ruin, 1667 to 1686, a time of endless wars, invasions, and betrayals. By the 18th century, the once mighty Zaporizhian Sich was slowly being dismantled by Russian rulers who saw the Cossacks as a threat to their absolute power. The final blow came in 1775, when Catherine the Great ordered the destruction of the Sich. Russian troops surrounded the fortress and burned it to the ground, forcing the last Cossacks to flee to the Danube Delta. Though the Cossack era came to an end, their spirit never died. Their traditions, their love of freedom, democracy, and resistance against oppression, became the foundation of Ukrainian national identity. Even today, Ukrainians look back at the Cossacks as symbols of courage, resilience, and independence. Their influence can be seen in everything, from folk songs and literature to modern-day military traditions. The Cossacks were more than just warriors, they were the defenders of Ukraine's freedom and faith. Though they fought under many banners, one thing remained constant: their unyielding spirit of independence. Their legend continues to inspire Ukrainians to this day, reminding them that Ukraine has always been a land of free warriors, fearless in the face of any empire. The Cossacks may have vanished, but their spirit rides on forever in the heart of Ukraine.